My name's Jason Mudd, and this is the 502 Leader Series presented by itsmontez.com. In this episode, I got to sit down with Derek Anderson. And Derek Anderson is a pretty well-known name around Louisville. He grew up here. He played for UK in the 90s under Rick Pitino. They won a championship, I believe, in 96. He went on to play pro ball in the NBA. Derek Anderson he's always come back. He's always come back home. And he's put a lot of emphasis on coming back home and doing things at the ground level. One of his big focuses with his foundation, the Stamina Foundation, the Acts of Kindness, is being nice to people. Just being nice, being positive, and the impact that can have on your own life and the community. Because when you're nice, it shows and it goes and it grows and it goes beyond you. So it was a great chat that we had. Derek Anderson is such a wonderful person. I hope you guys will go out and follow him on the socials. Follow the Stamina Foundation. This is about a 25-minute chat, and it's all about positivity. It's all about lifting others up, and that's something that we can all take to heart. So have a good listen. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you so much for following Yes Louisville, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's Derek Anderson. All right, my name's Jason Mudd. This is the 502 Leader Series. We're sitting out today with somebody that's really well known nationally. Went to UK in the 90s, won a championship for them under Rick Pitino. Derek Anderson.
Yeah.
Derek, you're back in Louisville.
I love it too.
You love it.
Move back home.
Derek, what do you do?
I live for the people. I live for God first, but I live for my family. Then I live for people. Been taught that from an early age, and I just love what we're doing. You know, God gives you a purpose. You do it, and you enjoy your life. You got one of them, so enjoy
That's
it.
Right. That's right. Derek, you've got a really, really interesting story. Talk a little bit about growing up. You grew up, not in the best situation.
Yeah. A lot of people grew up in bad situations. I mean, from the day the earth was formed, we've been in tough situations.
Well, it's all about the struggle,
It's all about the struggle. Struggle brings about success.
That's right.
If you just keep going. And for me, when I was abandoned at 11 years old, I still was polite to people enough to work hard. I just asked people, can I work and can I help you with this? Can I help this? So I can earn my own money. And from the time I was 11, I literally was on my own. I had an Uncle George that helped me out a little bit. But the rest of the time, I was trying to figure out my own life, trying to figure out how to survive every day. And one common denominator was, if you're nice and you're polite, people will help you. It was that simple. Even at 11, you was like, I say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And you're polite, you smile. People didn't feel afraid. They weren't worried about you. They were they were worried about you because they felt like, here's a person who's trying, not begging. I was trying to be better. And they saw that. And people, once they see you're trying, people will help you. And I literally just, made my first $2 at the age of 11 by asking people to carry their bags in the grocery store. Think about that. At 11, you get a kid out of his home now at 11, he'll lose his mind because he's been given so much. He's never had that type of upbringing where he has to do the right thing. So a kid will go out here and have an attitude. He's frowning, he's mean, he's got his head down, and he's struggling, but he doesn't understand. If he lifts his head up and tries to be nice to people, people will be nice back. So for me, it was just making sure that when I grew up that I kept that same mentality. And good habits and bad habits are exactly the same. Whichever ones you do the most is the ones you always do.
Yep. That's one of my pastors told me this story about two guys. They were racing dogs, and this guy, they'd go out and they'd bet on these dogs, and this guy always knew which dogs was going to win. And somebody came out and asked him, how do you always pick which one's going to win? He said, I bet on the one that I feed.
That's a good one.
So that's exactly, you talk about habits, and what you get in, you get what you put into stuff. Whatever you feed, whether it's a habit, whether it's it doesn't matter what it is.
Doesn't matter.
That's what's going to grow. That's what's going to sometimes consume you to a degree, for better or worse.
Yep.
So, you're making money. You're kind of getting out and hustling. I mean, that's really what the hustle's about.
Legal
the hustle's
hustle.
about finding a place that adds value.
Mm-hmm.
to somebody. And that's, I think, you talk about kids that, are I don't like using the term babied or anything, but they're taken care of too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think that right now, in maybe it's just the circles that I'm in, but there's a big focus on adding value to people now, and kind of changing that mentality of gimme to what can I bring to the table. And exactly like what you're doing with this Acts of Kindness
Mm-hmm.
Foundation, and trying to give people these tools to pull themselves up, to that mentality that you can do it.
Right.
What brought you to start this? How long has this been going on for you?
Well, for me, it's been going on for a long time. Like, I started when I was in NBA my first year. I did a camp, and what I do is I give kids 2 items, but they have to give the other item to someone they don't know out of appreciation. They'd be like, well, why would you do that? And someone would ask them, like, well, what's this for? He said, I just want to be nice to someone else. Someone was nice to me, and I want to do the same. So now that person who just received that gift feels like, you know what, I should do the same thing, because I felt pretty good getting something. And then they feel even better giving someone else something. So now it's a trickle-down effect. Not paying it forward, we give someone something, then it stops and they smile and say thank you. But no, this is a trickle-down effect. So now if I bought you something with a gift card, I gave you that same gift card, guess what you're going to do next time? You're going to get someone something else. Mm-hmm. And guess what that other person's going to do? So now the entire world is about giving each other. It doesn't cost a lot. It could be $2. It could be a 99-cent bottle of water. It could be a 10-cent piece of candy. Mm-hmm. But if you continue that momentum and that type of habits, guess what happens? Everyone does it. So the reason I started was because I saw the effect that I had on seeing someone else happy. I always thought it was like, well, if I get this, I will be happy. I got it, and I wasn't as happy as seeing someone else enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So with me, it was like once I gave this somebody something, I saw the appreciation, I saw the excitement, I saw the love that they had. They were very excited that I gave them something. So for me, it was like, this is what makes sense to me. I've been blessed with all this money, all this fame, but it doesn't come comparison to seeing someone else enjoy it. That's awesome. Been my greatest gift, and I've been doing it since 1997, and it's been an amazing feeling.
That is so cool. It really. I've been reading a whole bunch about this, and you get down to all the cliches that people say. Do good things, you'll get good things back. The golden rule, and life really is in the cliche in a lot of this stuff. If you do these simple things, that's what. I'm into the Bible a whole lot. I don't.
Yeah, I am too.
It's whatever everybody likes, but mm-hmm. but that's really what the basis of a lot of these teachings are. Is
but
investing.
But they're not cliches when they're right.
Well, no, I don't mean cliche in the negative, but that's we kind of blow off a lot of these things
because the world, the media has portrayed everything negative. So
right.
So for me, it's to revert the attitudes, and what happens is you can still have everyone watch the media if it's good. People love to feel good. Your favorite movie is something, I guarantee you, your favorite movie is something that you can watch with anybody.
Mm-hmm. My favorite movie is The Big Lebowski.
And anybody can watch
it. But anybody can relate to that.
That's exactly. My point. Your favorite movie, when people say, I love the Titanic, they love a love story. They love this.
Yep, that's right.
They love that. They love whatever they love. It's because you can share it. Mm-hmm. It's because that's what life is about.
That's right.
Sometimes you be like, well, I don't want to post this because it's not really good. Well, that means it's not meant to be shared. Mm-hmm. But people do it anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you have to think twice about something, it's not right.
You probably shouldn't do it. You're right.
But the society's been rewarding so much negativity that a lot of our kids have been lost. So for me, it's to revert that mindset and say, hey, if you do right and do good things, guess what happens? Good things happen and good things will happen.
That's right. Hey, who's some people, growing up, who's some people that you looked up toward that maybe mentored you?
My school teachers. Every last one of them who was positive, they made me feel better about myself. Wasn't me. I wasn't worrying about the NBA. I wasn't worrying about, hey, I'm gonna make millions. I was worrying about somebody actually giving a dang about what I did as a person. Mm-hmm. School teachers woke me up and said, hey, I know you're tired, but come on, let's finish the school. You're a smarter kid than this. My middle school coach told me, yeah, keep trying out, keep practicing, you'll get better. I didn't play that much my 6th grade year, but he was always positive. He was always like, just keep getting better, you'll get better. Just keep working hard, work on this, work on that. It wasn't ever, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. Every day, someone, the janitor who let me sleep in my high school gym, who was very nice. The school, the secretary to vice principal who was going to adopt me in high school because I had nowhere to go. Like my high school coach who took me in because I didn't have anywhere to go. My Uncle George who taught me how to be a man, even though I wasn't his son, he taught me how to become a man. Those people, nothing about sports, nothing about people with money and finance. Mm-hmm. It was all about how they treated me. Mm-hmm. And when you get past all the money, guess what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna look at the people how they treated you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a billion people who have millions of dollars that are miserable because they didn't know who they like, who really cared about them.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of them or tried to buy friends. You can't do that. And for me, was knowing that those people, the school teachers, the janitors, the neighbors, who took me in their house when they didn't have to. People didn't have money in the projects, but they took me in anyway because they cared. Those are the people I looked up to. Those are the people I owe everything to, and those are the people I love to this day.
That's, that big theme. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. Gosh, that's you a lot of times you overlook the people that really, people, things, whatever, that really make that big impact. But it is in what may seem like the small details. The small actions that you do every day.
That's the thing.
It's not these big things. It's opening the door for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving a kind word versus
saying thank you.
Being appreciative. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I heard an awesome thing. I was listening to a Tony Robbins thing, and he has this deal where you can't have gratitude and be angry. You can't have gratitude and be anxious.
Right.
And there's a process that he kind of talks about going through every morning called priming that kind of gets you in that mindset of being thankful for things.
Yeah.
What time do you wake up every morning?
Usually about 6:37.
Well, what's the first 60 minutes of your day look like?
Well, it depends, because some days I'll go to the gym. Some days I'll just get up and pray and just say, thank you for waking me up, and then I'll get on my day. It just depends on what days that I have. But every day I always wake up with a prayer and say thank you. And then you move on, because I wake up with a good attitude at that point. No matter what's going on the night before, I'll be like, ooh, I get a new start today. It's like playing a new game. Like, I might have messed up on one game, but I got another game today. So guess what? I'm not going to make that same mistake.
That's right.
So every day I just wake up and be appreciative for even waking up. And then I feel like, you know what? I'm starting the day out with a good attitude.
That's really coming down to it. That's about the only thing that you can really affect every day. That's the only thing that you can control is your perception and how you look at everything.
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing you can control.
It's the only thing you can control.
The only thing. But if I can control it, guess what? I'm going to make it fun.
That's right.
I'm going to make it happy. I'm going to make it fun.
And you know what? If when you make it fun, gosh, it ends up being fun.
It does.
It does. You get what you look for. That's another one of those simple things.
Yeah.
That is absolutely awesome. What's something that you kind of struggle with every day? What's something that maybe doesn't come quite so easily to you?
I don't think I have anything. The only thing that everything comes easy because I've created that good habit. People's like, well, you can't be this way every day. My fiance will tell you, she's like, I never met a guy who never just has an attitude or gets upset for anything. Like, when things don't go my way, I'll just, let's change it, let's make it, fix it, or move on, because I can't do anything about it. I just leave it to God's hands. But for me, it's like every day if something goes bad with me, I revert back to what's good about me. Mm-hmm. If there is someone saying, hey, well, I don't like him because he left one team, or I don't like him because he doesn't do X, Y, and Z for such and such for me, or this and that, I always usually reply to people and say, well, I love you too, man. I know you're going through something, but I know we all go through something. I try to change their mindset, and people will be like, wow, I never expected that comment. They wanted a confrontation and they didn't get that. Therefore, I don't have that same confrontation going back where now I'm worried about what they're saying about me. I always try to kind of confront it with love, and once you do that, people either they're completely out of their minds or they wake up out of their grave mind and they start having a conversation. So for me, is anytime something goes wrong, I try to address it in love, and then if it's not something where I can address it that way, I try to do something to keep my mind from it.
That's a good answer. When you break down and think about all this stuff, and I think technology, some of the ways that we communicate, social media makes it easy for people to get riled up about stuff. And when you really boil it down to, gosh, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Is this really that big of a deal?
It's not.
Most of the time, it's not.
It's not. And after it's done, and after it dies away, you be like, it really didn't matter.
Yeah, right. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You've had a really. Let me ask you this: what kind of a student were you when you were in college? Were you? I know you graduated. Pharmacy degree is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, well, I'm working on finishing that too. I'm gonna take the bar.
Awesome, fantastic. That's really cool. How did you played for some pretty prestigious teams at UK. You won a national championship. How did you manage the study time and the basketball time to really come out and be successful in the end?
Well,
that's got to be so tough.
Everything that I start, I try to finish. I struggled. Trust me, it was days. It was class I had to withdraw from. It was so hard. Just to start over again. It was like I was tired. I had a son to go see. it was tough, but it was still fun.
Mm-hmm.
When I look back at it, I was like, I was still trying to have fun every single day that I went to class, and
Right.
went to school on campus, interacting with people, and I knew I had one chance at college. So for me, it was like having fun every day. That was my mindset. When I got up, I said, hey, if I struggle in class, let me go back to the tutor, let me go back to the teacher, and just have fun. Just have kind of conversation, because you'd be surprised. A lot of the teachers that I spoke with back then are still friends with me today.
Mm-hmm.
You have a personal relationship because you care, because you want to get better, and they want to see you better.
Right.
Not just, well, here's your grade, you go back to the next student. If you have a personal relationship with people, and that's what matters to me, I still communicate with my teachers, and that's the greatest feeling ever.
That's awesome.
It was something I just picked up on, is understanding when I need help again, survival mode.
Yep. And because that, that's awesome. Being so many people go through college and go through any situation early in life, especially because I think that people just don't know. They don't really, they haven't gotten to that point where they realize what's important yet, and it really does come down to that relationship and how the learning never stops, the journey never ends, and that's really what it's about, is that process and what you can get out of that process.
100%.
Not the end result.
Right.
Because what you do, at the end you just start over again.
Yeah.
I mean, you do.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Looking back anyway, what's some advice that you would give to your 20-year-old self?
It's hard because at 20 you were learning everything, so until you grasp what you were trying to learn, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
I could tell myself, hey, be prepared for this. You still have to get a hold of what you're trying to learn.
You still have to live that.
Yes, and
yeah, right.
Life is the experience is the biggest teacher in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell myself, hey, don't do this or do that. But if I didn't experience it, I wouldn't have known it anyway. Because people told me stuff.
Right.
And until I lived
the first time.
Until I lived it, I wouldn't have did it. I think if anything, when I got to the NBA, if I could tell myself then was to buy more land, because I'm going to do that now. I want to buy land for people to own and to have their own life. So if I got you a piece of land, it could be a small piece, but you built something on your own land and just gave you that land. Guess what? No matter what happened, you had a place to sleep. And for me, I didn't have that all the time. So I would say, if I would tell myself that younger, just buy lots of land and just give it to people so they had their own land. If your house burned down, you still had your own land. You could build you a shack.
Right.
You could build you a tent. But it was your land. And for me, it was making sure that people had their own, because the world has become down to a money issue, and it's not about people as much anymore. The Great Depression hit, people made it through, not the government. People.
Right.
The government folded.
Right.
The people didn't fold. And that's the difference. Get the people where they don't have to fold and to suffer as much, and you'll have a better place.
That's you started this foundation, the acts of kindness. Your mission is to help women. It's to help kids. It's to feed kids.
Also men.
And men.
Yeah.
And men. Do you focus on the families that maybe are fatherless? I mean, is there an aspect of mentorship that's involved in this too? Because I think that's a big issue that you have really with everybody.
It's everything, but again, it goes back to entitlement. You know how many single mothers are willing to do anything to keep their son happy instead of actually teaching him how to be happy for himself?
Right.
And therefore, when he gets older and he doesn't get what he wants, guess what? He's crying, he's complaining, he's robbing, he's stealing, he's mistreating women because he's not getting what he wants. And where a man comes in a place, you teach him. If he gets older, if he falls on the ground, a woman's like, "Oh, you're okay." Well, God said, "Come on, son, get up, brush it off." Right. Two different thoughts processes, two different life lessons he's learning. It's not a woman's fault. It's who she is. She loves. That's why we love women. They're loving, nurturing people. Sure. We need that. But you need that male figure to give him that enhancement to say, you know what, I can still be all right, even if nobody's around. So for me, it's making sure the organization was built upon making sure single parents, whether men or women, understood that there's a balance in how you raise your child. The balance is nurture and also necessity. What does he really need, as opposed to $100 pair of shoes, or you tell him to go out and work for that $100?
Right. Because
what's going to happen when he turns 18? He's got to go work. And my thing is to bridge the gap from school to workplace. There's a gap called real life. And no one's taught us that. So my foundation is bridging that gap. So when you're in school, you're now being taught life lessons. I'm teaching you how to pay your rent, pay bills. Do I eat out tonight or get a haircut today? Do I pay my light bill, half of it, or do I pay some of my water bill? What are you making real life decisions on? So when you teach a fifth grader that to the age we're going to start, and they start to see like, wow, what if my mom isn't coming home? They don't think like that because it's not a process. But you got to give them real life skills so when they get older, now they don't go into drugs and drinking because they've never had real life issues and it should be a part of the curriculum in school, but I'm going to give it my foundation. So now everyone in the world, these are going to be a foundation all over the world, not just in America, but in everywhere. Real life skills.
Yeah.
There's a gap right now. Remember, you go from school, and if you don't get a job that you can pay or take care of yourself, you're struggling. It's real life skills. So that's what we're going to teach, and that's what I love about it. But kindness is the key. Once you come with a good, healthy mind, no matter how much money you got, guess what? You're going to be all right. The happiest people smiling sometimes are people who might have nothing, but they have a home, they have their own, and they're comfortable. Comfortable with who they are as a person.
Right. Not that's that getting out of this mindset that the media puts out there that I mean, media encompasses everything, but the next big thing, having to have Apple's philosophy on every iPhone that comes out. I mean, getting out of that idea that new shiny thing isn't going to make you happy. It isn't gonna fulfill you.
If you have to answer yourself, if someone asks you something, why did you do that, and you don't know, you're on a downward spiral right now.
You've already lost.
You
haven't lost because you can
always
turn it around.
Yes, you can always turn around, but you're starting a downfall. If you have to answer anybody and you say, I don't know, I just like that, then you're in trouble. You can like a lot of things, but you have the reason why you're doing what you're doing. That is what God's purpose is. I could easily say, well, I don't know, I just do this and that. No, I do know why I'm doing it.
Right.
Because that is a purpose behind it. I don't care what it is. If you don't know why you're drinking and you're saying that's the excuse why you're drinking, you're in trouble. If you say the same thing about, hey, I like to do this and I like to do that, I don't know why, like I said, you're in trouble. You just got to change it around. You got to figure out your own problem. Recognize you have a problem, and then everyone else around you can help you do that once you open up.
So how does somebody get involved with you and with your Stamina Foundation and Acts of Kindness?
Well, you can go to my site, itsmontez.com, and that's where you can find all my information. I'm always on social media. It's itsmontez.com, and basically you can just do acts of kindness. I don't need any money from people.
Just do acts of kindness. Just spread. just do something for somebody. Just to do it. You don't need a reason for anything.
You don't. Somebody opened the door for me the other day. Going into the gas station, and I saw him grab a case of water, and I bought his case of water. He said, why would you do that? I said, same reason you opened that door for me. It was just being kind. Had nothing to do with money, had nothing to do, you were just being kind. So I just decided to do the same thing.
That is awesome.
It's that simple. So people are like, well, I'm building an academy, I'm going to get funding from whoever wants to support that, but I don't want money. I don't need money for that. And when the money comes in, if you're going to do something, do it with your time or buying someone else a way to help someone else. Don't just give someone anything. People do that, that raise money on the sites like GoFundMe.
Oh, GoFundMe, yeah.
Somebody
I need a potato salad. Yeah, there was like a $30,000 potato salad.
Come on,
I know.
That's ridiculous. Like, let's be honest. So for me, if you do something kind and you want something, if you want a $200 pair of shoes and you're being kind to people, somebody might buy it from you. Somebody might give you $5, $10. So when you do 20 good deeds, guess what? You'll get what you want. It's that simple.
Awesome. We need more of that. We need all. I love this movement. So that's our challenge to everybody.
Yeah.
Get out of your box. Be kind to people.
Period. End of story. No hashtag, no nothing. No
hashtag, no nothing. No. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, Derek, it was awesome chatting with you today.
Thanks.
We'll this was very, very cool. I really enjoyed this.
This is great, man. Thank you for what you do, man. You're doing a lot. You're recognizing people doing it, and you're spreading a good word.
Well, again, it doesn't cost anything to be positive. It doesn't cost anything to be nice.
Yep.
And the more people can kind of invest in themselves, the more they then are able to invest in their community.
And
it's
the
all
community
about
invest back in them.
It's all about people, and it's all a cycle. And
Yes.
and the more we can lift people up, gosh, how much better everything would be.
The only hashtag that I do have is leave more than your name.
Leave more than your name. I love that.
Everything is A-okay.
All right. Everything is A-okay. All right. High five to that.
My man.
All right. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks for listening to the 502 Leader Series. We hope you enjoy the chats that we have. It's so great to spread the word about people doing good things. Make sure you subscribe, yeslouisville.com/subscribe. Share it with your friends. Post it on your Facebooks. It's fantastic. Love to spread the word. Have a good day, Louisville. Thank you.